Where is remote recording headed, and how will that affect you as a creator? Welcome to the SquadCast channel. I'm Maribel. In this video, we're talking about the evolution of remote recording and how we got to where we're at today and where we're heading in the future. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you'll never miss a video from us. Did you know that the first phone call was recorded all the way back in 1889 by the New York Phonograph Company? Facts. The history of recording remote conversations goes way back. You might be wondering, why is it important to understand the evolution of remote recording technology? Because understanding it will help you create remote content with confidence today and into the future. Now let's go back in time for a sec. In the 1800s, recording phonograph calls was only possible between two recording studios with a physical wire connecting the two buildings. They called this a double ender because they recorded analog audio at both ends or studios, then mailed the tape and cut it together days or weeks later. It definitely wasn't the most efficient, highest quality, or fun way to record, but it was a start. Now let's jump forward to the 1920s. Construction companies were making homes with pre-wired telephones built right in to attract buyers. And it didn't take long for people to start recording phone calls with analog recording devices. Unlike the double ender, this was recorded on one end and at home instead of in studio. The quality of the person on the recording would be pretty good, but the recording coming in from the other end would be very low quality because the
speakers on old phones were small.
This was a big step forward for accessibility, but at the expense of quality. This recording approach remained mostly the same over the decades, with the exception of switching from analog to digital telephones and recording devices in the 1980s. While the quality improved somewhat, it still wasn't great. It produced diminished production value for audiences. We all probably know what a recorded phone call sounds like. Psst, something like this.
Hi, this is Dottie. When you get home, call me.
Enter the internet. Skype launched in 2003 and was a huge step forward compared to paying by the minute for long-distance phone calls. There were some big hoops to jump through, like dial-up connectivity, latency, and needing to install a lot of software. But hey, it was amazing that this was still possible at all. Then, in 2014, a company called PodClear was founded that made it possible to record calls on Skype. The workflow was a lot like the early double enders, but with software instead of hardware. So both you and your guests would download, install Skype plus PodClear, then you would call each other, click record in PodClear, and the recordings would be saved to each person's computer. When you were finished recording, someone would send their recording to the other person for editing. For sure, it was a clunky process, but it was free, accessible, and gave us locally recorded quality in digital format for the first time in history. While Skype plus PodClear was a big step forward in terms of recording quality, it was a lot to expect of guests to install multiple apps, record themselves, and send recordings around after the conversation. When we invite guests over for dinner, do we expect them to do the cooking? Of course not. That's why this early setup was still far from perfect for remote content creators. Fast forward to 2016, SquadCast was founded, and since we're students of audio history, we wanted to focus on enabling high-quality recording options for creators, and making these issues of the past a thing of, well, the past. We built SquadCast so that creators and guests no longer need to install software. The web has created dramatically faster internet speeds, and the cloud makes file sharing a whole lot easier. The result was an overwhelming thumbs up from the podcast industry. And we didn't stop there. We built innovative new ways to upload higher quality recordings that are faster and more reliable than anyone else. We added the industry's most requested feature, video recording, with all the same benefits and quality. We were the first cloud recording studio to save backups in the cloud, in addition to the local recordings to prevent lost sessions, even in the worst situations. We patented our solution to the age-old problem of audio drift, and we are the first and only to integrate with other podcast apps through our public APIs. Phew, that was a lot. But we are still just getting started. Podcasters are going pro, and SquadCast is helping them rise to the occasion. Soon on SquadCast, networks, organizations, and teams of creators can easily and securely collaborate on producing multiple shows. More to come on our next big update. Now that you're an expert in the history and future of remote recording, nothing will stop you from recording remotely with confidence. We can't wait to hear what you create. Once your next episode is out into the world, let us know. Submit a link to your show and we may feature it on social media. Go to squadcast.fm/share to submit anything. Let us know what you'd like to hear us dive into next in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. More next week from SquadCast FM.